Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast, the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
I keep forgetting that we record on Taco Tuesdays. So enjoy yourself a taco today.
I mean,
delicious, tasty taco.
Are tacos not the greatest sandwich ever?
Oh, don't do that. Oh no, the new debate is are tacos a sandwich?
I mean,
we already have our hot dogs a sandwich. That's a big debate. You're right. Like that has everyone up in arms. Which I'm again, as I have been lamenting my online dating adventures. Nobody talks about that. They talk about pineapple on pizza, but they never talk about whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich.
I will ask you: is a bratwurst breakfast
by itself?
Well, like on a fucking bun with some mustard.
Yeah, why not?
It's
sausage, even a hot dog, any sausage that you put on a plate automatically becomes breakfast.
That probably would have been a better option to just put on a plate with some maple syrup or something.
Oh God, hot dogs with maple? I've never.
No, a bratwurst, not a hot dog, a bratwurst.
Oh, bratwurst, the bratwurst. No, I've never done bratwurst on no, and I've eaten some weird food, and I haven't had bratwurst with maple syrup on it.
I haven't either, but I'm just saying maybe that would have been a good option for breakfast. Because what I had for breakfast at work on yesterday, Monday, was a couple bratwursts at 9 a.m. I was like, yeah, this is a healthy choice.
So the question I have then is, what is your typical breakfast? Like, what is your preferred and not your typical, what is your preferred breakfast? Like, if you could have this type of breakfast every day, what would it be?
It would consist of pancakes. I'd have pancakes all the time.
Oh man! Wow.
But you've seen what I eat typically at a Comic-Con. It's fairly light stuff. Yeah. Because usually we're on the run. But like, I love fruit. Give me a bowl of fruit, and I'll eat more fruit than I will scrambled eggs that have been sitting in a fucking heated tray.
Warmer.
Yeah.
Well, no, we remember that when there was one San Diego where we went to that one breakfast place that always had a line. It was like a pancake place, I remember. Mm-hmm. But they had pancakes that were just flat. They were just these flat tortilla-like pancakes.
They were a certain kind, like the 49er, like hot cake or something like that.
Well, because it's supposed to be like this is what they ate during the Gold Rush era, right?
Right.
These were the pancakes that they would eat during then. Like, are those? Did you have that too? I forgot if you had that too.
I think I had a more traditional. I think more traditional pancakes and like, some sort of, egg, potato, concoction.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah. No, I can see. You know what? I'm a big fan of the. Well, actually, no. It's a toss-up between the pancake and the waffle. I really do love a good waffle. There's something about the crispiness of a waffle that makes it more desirable than a pancake. But yeah, pancakes are pretty good. I was just curious.
But a waffle at the same time, though, is like not done on the inside. Sure, it's crispy on the outside, but it's like it's not crispy throughout.
On the inside.
Like, we were sitting in that chicken that Roscoe's joint, and I was like, we got soggy ass fucking waffles, and I'm like, what? People enjoy this?
Because it gets drenched in like butter. And well, here's the thing, Roscoe's like opens the floodgates of butter on their waffles, and then they just lather it with like syrup.
The grease of the chicken.
Here's a little piece of chicken on top. Yeah. Oh, that too. That's true. The chicken just plop a chicken breast right on top, deep fried chicken breast right on top of that waffle. Like, There's your meal. Enjoy. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
I like that place still.
Well, I remember sitting there, enjoying everything, but going, yeah, I don't really like waffles.
Yeah. Well, their waffles are they're cinnamon waffles too. They're not even regular waffles. They're like they add something to it.
Yeah, yeah. I
So it's
did.
not like typical waffle either.
Um,
What do you-
but either way, it's I can eat breakfast foods for every meal.
yeah.
It,
I mean, I'm sure this is exactly the conversation that the 4 new followers wanted from us to be. So
it's a podcast. Speaking of which, Francis did just say we have 4 new followers after last week's show. So we will talk about them now. We'll not talk about them. We will call them out. Not call them out. We will say their names now. Yeah.
out the mouth.
Out something. I don't know.
We're gonna call them out.
We're gonna call them out for following us. So we got all of the last 6 days, which is pretty fresh. So thank you everybody. Chasmanite, Sticks Boy Comics, Deplorable Gamers, and Art of the Roll. Which Francis, I'm pretty sure you know who that is.
He was a guest on our. Well, I say our.
I
I mean,
mean,
you're a part of the.
I've been
family,
there.
so it
I've
is
been
our.
there a few times.
Super Geek Club
I may or
was-
may not have done work for the guy, under some official, capacity of some sort.
Sure. And Super Geeked Up had Art of the Roll's host Greg Horvey,
Oh,
the
awesome.
DM for their live action. Huh?
Oh, I said awesome.
Yeah. And he was kind enough to help us out because he's definitely we're on the road to 50. I think he's on the road to 500. And
Well, I
he's already
mean,
got a few hundred people following his.
yeah, well, we all
I
gotta,
was like, I'll help you get to the road 50.
you gotta start somewhere. So, I
You
think
do.
we're at 35 or something now, 34, 35. So
34, yeah.
I
Getting there. We're
appreciate
getting there.
the 4 of you for following and joining. If you're watching, thanks for watching. I don't know. I didn't know we would.
Thinking of them is good.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
It's a good start to the road to 50. Is making sure you thank everybody.
Yeah.
So speaking of
That's the
which,
goal.
Francis,
Road to
when you're
Yes.
when you're perusing your YouTube selection, whatever, people you've been following for a while, and you see the title of some show that pops up, and it's like, I can't do this anymore. It's amazing how many channels just like. You
clickbaity.
right, and then you click on it,
clickbait.
and instead of them just telling you, like, what's up, they like gotta make sure they thank everybody. And this
Right.
whole journey, instead of being like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Here's why, and get it out of the way. Instead of getting that last, it's gonna be your last monetized video. So you gotta make sure you get your 10 minutes in.
But even then, normally when they're like, "Well, I quit," and then it's like this 30-minute video, and then at the end of the 30 minutes, like, "Yeah, so I quit eating, bacon in the morning," and it's like that was the video. Like, okay, right? It's normally a bait and switch for those types of videos.
that is
but
true.
I'm guessing
That is
you
true
are
as well.
someone who actually genuinely is leaving.
I
their community.
I don't know. I assume that's what the meat of the video was, because I just want to thank everybody, and it's all because of you I've been able to do this, and and I'm just like, all right, we're fucking 10 minutes into this video, like, are you gonna spill the beans? I click on to see how much more time. There's like 15 more minutes. I'm like, nope, don't care.
Yeah, no, there's some people who, well, okay, so I used to follow, I still do on Instagram. I follow, oh God, is it Overly Obsessed Girlfriend? Oh my God. It was that meme from like
Yeah.
2005 or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Where this girl just, with really buggy eyes did like a Justin Bieber thing. for a contest, and she got memed for years.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, she milked that kind of popularity by doing comedy videos, which is genuinely funny. Like she's not. It's not like she's not actually funny. The girl's actually pretty funny. Well, like 4 or 5 years ago, she's like, "Well, I'm done. I'm done being overly obsessed girlfriend. I'm done being online. I'm just gonna live a regular life." And then, like a few months later, she does another comedy thing on her on her Instagram, and I'm like, "I thought you were done.
Mm.
Why are you still here doing comedy bits?" And she just kept going. She did more and more and more comedy bits, and how unprofessional.
I know, right?
I'm just not. I wish I was. No, like, that's just me being jealous because I'm not popular enough to get a text from.
Well, it's the only reason why you heard it is because it went through the mixer. I was prepared for. I was prepared for, you know, in case anybody, you know, jumped in.
Calls in again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't believe most people who say they're going away. There was a couple of big YouTube stars who did leave and did actually go away. But I think a lot of them, they like the limelight too much, and so they just come crawling back, doing their same shtick and shenanigans because they like the attention. So.
Well, and I also see, like, I left Twitch years ago, and now I'm going back. You know, I left Twitch for YouTube years ago, and now I'm going back, and here's why. And it's the same thing. Instead of just starting the video and being like, the reason why is because the algorithm sucks, or, you know, like, whatever. And it's like, nope, here's 15 minutes of thanking everybody, and I couldn't do this without you, and sponsors, and this and that. And it's just like, just fucking tell your audience what's going on. Enough with your clickbait fucking bullshit titles. Let's go. And every YouTube picture is the same. Let's do a YouTube picture together, Francis. Ready?
Oh. Oh, like I don't know what that, because there's so many different types. Depends. Is there a red circle and a yellow arrow? Is it like, or no, yellow arrow and a yellow circle and a red arrow? Oh my God, which one is it? I can't remember. Yeah, everyone's.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why we're not succeeding, Francis, because we put like thought into production, not taking a cool fucking thumbnail to grab everybody's attention.
No, well, and plus, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know, I don't trust even us. I don't, even though I think there'll be some point, right, where we're gonna be like, maybe we're burned out for whatever reason. We're like, even though we've been doing this for what, like 12 years now,
mm-hmm.
So maybe we don't understand the term burnout.
Maybe
because we just keep doing this, no matter what.
Just, you know,
what happens.
Thousands of dollars put into this with, you know, like some. Let's be real, some ongoing and legit recognition from credible sources and credible celebrities. So, you know, it's not all crap, but damn, it's a lot of money.
No, it is. It's too much, really. Which is why I haven't bought any new equipment in like 3 years. Like I haven't bought anything new. I think I had to replace my mixer once because my old mixer broke. So that's like the last purchase I made like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was it. Like I haven't bought anything since, and I really should because my stuff is crap. But Swiss Bullet says supposedly some studies showed that clickbait style video thumbnails get more clicks. Really hope that's not true, but yes, it does. That's the problem. It does.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people do it. There's a template. Swiss, there's a template for YouTube videos and for Twitch, right? Like, if you don't have your cans out on Twitch, you're loud.
And you know what?
You're loud.
But if we have our cans out every single week, you could see them on our head. They're out.
Cans out right here.
They're uncensored. You could see that if we didn't have the blur on, you could make out the brand in which we use.
Flash in the can. It's Flash Friday. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But like, those are the two types of people though that I notice on Twitch. You're either really loud or really busty, and it's just like, oh god, there's no in between. There's really no in between. Because if you are in between, you're a channel that, and I see a lot of them, and they keep doing it, much like us. You know, they're still working their way up the ranks. They're still doing that stuff. Which, look, we're you know, our audience is out there. They just haven't found us yet, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Well, that's, you know, because there's 24 hours in a day. Maybe our audience is there in the morning, right? Like maybe the real people that like our stuff is at like noon. Oh, what does Skater say here?
The Skater Girl says people say they hate drama, but when something promises drama or a surprise, click.
There is a mutual friend of myself and Josh, of whom I will protect kayfabe on, who I hang out with on a weekly basis. Just a friend of ours, and one of her favorite things, I'll say it to her at least, one of her favorite things to talk about is YouTube drama. And like that's one of her favorite topics. And it's really kind of funny how she's just like, well, let me just tell you of this YouTube drama of someone I know you don't really care about, but I do. It's really interesting. And I'm like, it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like placating her or anything. I do find it really funny that people love drama and people really cling to drama. And so hearing those stories, I'm like, oh my God, yeah. So yeah, you're right. Drama, the moment it's online, oh man, just click.
Well, I'll use that as a segue, Francis, because as we were talking last week, we were talking a little wrestling stuff and happenings within the WWE with Stephanie McMahon stepping down from her co-CEO chair or co-CEO position and co-chair person, whatever it was.
Co-owner.
Yeah, basically co-owner. So she stepped down to go be a family person, supposedly, whatever. It doesn't matter. We hit end. We had our little, after show chit chat, and then as I'm eating my Twix and enjoying the last bit of my Sprite and having, time to wind down, watching a cartoon, the internet starts to blow up that WWE had been sold to the Saudi entity of the People's.
It wasn't a prince, was it?
It was to the prince, but it was under the name of the People's Investment Fund, the PIF, the Saudi PIF. And the internet was, they were who I consider credible sources in the wrestling news, wrestling journalists. Use that with some heavy dink-dinks. They were going live with videos going like, the sources we're getting this information from are legit as well. So this has to be legit.
Yes.
And that went on for 12 hours until, I don't know, the next morning sometime where it was like, nope, that was all just some BS. But the people got the information from somewhere, unless they just made the shit up, which is totally possible, right? But it was crazy to watch the internet blow up like that, and it looks like, from everything I've been keeping up on, Vince is crawling his way back more and more into the day-to-day. He's going to at least try. There's been a few wrestlers that have specifically asked for him to book them at that not enough pronouns there, pal. But the wrestlers, there's a few wrestlers that have requested that Vince book their matches. There, I said that with enough clarity. at the same time, it does still look like they're trying to line things up for a sale. So not a lot to report on, except, I thought we were going to come in here and be like, well, the Saudis own WWE. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of LGBTQ wrestlers that are very concerned. There's a guy that's from Syria that's really concerned.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I thought that's what we were going to come in and talk about, really, for a large chunk of this. But it turned out to just be either bad information that went out there, or it was like a feeler to see like what the public response would be to a sale like that.
I think there was enough negativity, right? So they're like, oh boy, well, there goes my billions.
Right. The stock actually went up.
As a result of that?
As a result of the people thinking that it was going to sell. So go try and figure that out. Swiss also comes in and says apparently they're also copying at a 6% stake in Nintendo. Who? The Saudis? Is that what you're saying, Swiss?
If WWE did it, though.
Or WWE put a stake into Nintendo.
I don't know. I don't think either would ever get a stake. I mean, Nintendo's too Japanese for either organization.
Right. I mean, that would logically that would make sense, but
unless it's the Nintendo card part of it, where they make playing cards. But I don't know if that's it.
Well, he's saying, the Saudi People's Investment Fund.
Wow. Well, they're trying to buy everybody. Those guys are trying to buy everything. They're trying to clean out all of, pop culture because they know that they can. They have the money for it. They just sit on billions every single. Like they're one of the wealthiest people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need oil. Anyway, not to get into that.
That would be kind of I mean, like, I know it's not necessarily clean money out there or anything like that, but it would be cool to go out there and rent a Bugatti, and you and I can do like a car blog from a Bugatti and do like the whole YouTube, like we're going to drive to a whole different city to go get a slushie at 7-Eleven instead of the one that's 2 blocks from the apartment.
I'm going to just destroy the thing, most likely. I don't know. I don't think I can control a Bugatti. Those things are... No, but I think I'm a Lamborghini or something. But I'm certain those high-end luxury cars are, too much to handle anymore.
I mean, a Bugatti, the Veyron anyway, was a really expensive Volkswagen. Volkswagen bought Bugatti.
I mean, oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they did at the time. They did. And the Bugatti Veyron was a total just like, here's what we could do. And they lost their ass on every single one that they sold.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's God. All right. But Bugatti's still a big deal. I mean, Bugatti's still...
I mean, in nice states like yours that don't have fucking snow except for in certain regions.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I think I have a... what do you call it? A Maserati dealership nearby. Just like Maserati.
I mean, well,
here,
you are in the market for a new car, so
Well,
you take some of that author money down to the old Maserati dealership, and
my dollar every month that I get from book sales.
Hey,
like, oh man, I'm always happy to see at least $1, because that means at least one person bought the book. I'm like, oh, good, somebody bought the book.
You stack them up.
Yeah, been out for almost a year. I have $12. Like, woo!
It's one a month, man. It's one a month.
Well, hey, man, it's all about exposure. I guess it's all about getting your name out.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've been trying to do. It's what Points of Interest has been trying to do since it formed in 2012. Trying to get our names out there, and like I said, I have had some great local success. Francis has had great local success. Together, we've had great success in other states.
Yes.
We have been
Yeah.
contracted by a convention to do their panels. We have been contracted by a production company to do audio video assistance.
Oh yeah. Sure.
We have been, the same production company said, go interview people and give me the content.
That's
And we went and did it and
Mm-hmm.
talked our way into celebrity panel, things that we didn't deserve to be there by any means. But, we flashed our cleavage and batted our eyes and got into things. Exactly. We were like, hey, look at these.
look at these cans.
Locally, Francis basically has a permanent green light to go to WonderCon as media.
Oh yeah, and like LA Comic Con.
LA Comic Con,
at a couple conventions. That's true.
So there's been local success and everything like that. But I feel that POI has kind of reached what we can reach, our clout, at least with
Did we hit our limit? Did we hit the peak?
I think we've hit the peak of my drive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because things are moving along in 15-ish days, there's going to be a really big conversation that happens between myself and another local to here outlet that I and Francis, Francis is known. I have worked with this other outlet since 2012. So I reached out to them a few months ago. We're talking about Nerds That Geek. Stop burying the fucking lead, Josh. But I reached out to them, and I basically said the same thing. I've reached what I can reach with my ability, my personality, and my drive. So we are. See, it's funny that we started with the whole video about fucking clickbait, fucking titles and shit about people changing things and ending things. Now it sounds like one of those videos.
I mean, it is. Essentially it is.
Kind of, but
that's going to be the title of the episode. It's going to be like, "We quit."
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Francis and I will be doing hopefully a weekly show with Nerds That Geek, for Nerds That Geek, in the very close upcoming months. Francis was
the nearest future.
The nearest future. Francis just had a fun little meeting with the guy that runs Nerds That Geek, because he was invited, not Francis, but JB, the guy that runs Nerds That Geek, was invited out to LA to go to some press thing for NBC.
Yeah,
a junket, a press junket.
Yeah.
So he went out there to go do that thing, and Francis and him got to chit chat for a while and kind of iron out, I guess, Francis's role in this being my podcasting partner for life.
Why we
not why. That wasn't why, but I'm sure that was brought up as well.
Right.
But it's exciting for me. I'm not going to speak for Francis, but it's exciting for me to. It's not exciting at all. Because I love doing this, and I don't want to stop doing this. And this being podcasting, this also including POI. But going under the umbrella of somebody else that has direction, I think will be great. Because I don't have much. I have too many interests. That's why it's the points of interest.
Right.
It's I don't have any singular thing that I'm like, we need to talk about the Pink Panther every week.
It should have been wrestling and weed. There should have been the two things, because those are two things that you are very knowledgeable about, is wrestling and weed. And like, there's not a lot of, I don't think so. I don't think there's a lot of like marijuana friendly. I mean, there are marijuana friendly podcasts, but I mean, I think they just kind of cater to like, well, this is what's available, as opposed to like this is how the
Well,
whole industry works. This is kind of how the world works in this plane of the leafy green.
Well, and a lot of them too are like, I got this device. Let's do a review on this device. Watch me get high.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, yeah, because that's something you could do on here at least. At least I know you could.
On
That's
YouTube,
something you're very
technically, you can.
I think you can on YouTube too. Yeah, yeah. It's considered smoking. I guess that's all they think. It's like. I
I
guess.
mean, as long as you're in a legal state, the fuck does it matter?
Exactly. Yeah. It's again another thing, and I'm just gonna bring this up because it's my current like experiences here. But the whole dating thing, a lot of them are like 420 friendly. Oh, well, don't forget we're 420 friendly.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you
okay,
mean? What do you
that's
mean
cool.
we? You looking at Menage a Twizzles, Francis?
Well, I mean, I meant as a whole,
Oh, okay.
and take the word whole in any way you want. Just saying.
Oh,
But
damn it!
yeah.
I fucking keep getting rid of the damn soundbite. I
But,
need to have
yeah,
that so I can
so-
have the rim shot on fucking point, or at least
So-
or at least points, from the show.
Well, look, this will all be ready for when, whatever the new Nerds That Geek. Well, I know it has a name actually already. The show has a name. I don't know if that's what's being adopted when you take over, but I know it has a name already.
You know more than I do, so that's great.
Well, because it already exists. It's
Oh.
something that already exists.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting for us both. And my whole thing when I was talking to them when I brought it all up is that, like, I don't want to lose this, whatever this is, because their focus really isn't conventions. And I've worked really hard.
Not anymore, at least.
What's that?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It was. That's how we all got to do this together. But I don't want to lose the work that I put in to do conventions.
Right.
Because that's still my thing. So this will still exist. This isn't a goodbye by any means. Because, there's a show next week. See, I told you, it's going to end up just like one of those fucking videos.
Oh my god!
And we're-
It sounds so cheesy.
I know, and we're 32,
This isn't goodbye.
33
This is
minutes
see you
in.
later.
So, like, we would have got past the monetization point on a YouTube video and everything.
Right. Well, as long as we shout out all of the $10 a month or more patrons, whoever, well, if we had any.
If we had any. If we had an active Patreon as well, that would help.
It helps to it helps to have those things. That's true.
But what else is going on in your world besides the stuff that we're all preparing to do in the near future?
I know, like it's a lot of stuff. So, like, I feel like we should spend the next half of this like preparing and kind of talking about like the pop culture stuff that's happening around us. For instance, have you seen the trailer for the new Mandalorian?
I fell asleep last night waiting for it to come on. It's
Was it last night? I saw it. Yeah.
It was on the football game last night.
Oh, I saw it way after the fact.
No, well,
I saw it this morning.
the plan was to actually watch it when it happened, and
I see.
and Monday was one hell of a week. So it didn't make it very long. I got food in me, and I was like, yum, food, snore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of. I don't care. I know he has a name, but I'm still calling him Baby Yoda because that's the best. I think that's the better name over Grogu. Baby Yoda, a lot of Baby Yoda, a lot of love for Baby Yoda. But the biggest revelation is there's like a split second of Order 66. Like just a split second of it, and like, are we gonna see Order 66 from Grogu's point of view? Oh, I called him Grogu. From his point of view, like, oh, that'd be amazing. It's like, yeah, well, more lightsabers, more Jedi.
Might find out how he who saved
How
him.
he survived.
Yeah, who saved him originally?
So it's it looks like it's gonna be. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of it, and so you can watch it yourself and see what you think about it. But there's definitely, they already tell you kind of like the arc of the new season. But this is the stuff we're gonna be like. I hope you guys are into this kind of stuff, because this is the kind of stuff we're gonna be talking about in the future, either under the POI umbrella or under the Nerd's Geek umbrella. We're gonna get more pop culture. We're gonna start talking about like. We're not gonna watch everything, because holy crap, I haven't watched anything. But like,
Right.
for instance, like the new The Last of Us TV show came out yesterday, and that's all anyone is talking about.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to get into any show that was once a video game.
Apparently, it's good. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Apparently
it doesn't. It doesn't have the Mandalorian as the main star.
Which is the funny part. Yeah, the Mandalorian is back as I can't even remember the actor's name.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. So Pedro Pascal, who apparently has never been on a show that went under 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was the article today that I read. It's like, this guy has only done hit shows. I'm like, good for him.
I mean,
any interest?
Last of Us? Not particularly, no. I mean, didn't they just do the Walking Dead?
They did. I mean, the final season of The Walking Dead, I think,
and it's 19 different spinoffs. Like, when did The Walking Dead become SVU? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it would have been cool if Ice Cube, not Ice Cube, but
yes, it would have been cool if Ice Cube or
Ice-T.
Ice-T, yeah. I knew where you were going. It was still funny.
I'm drinking iced tea. I should know this. But yes, see, even Swiss is very much. I don't know why the long.
Maybe his A stuck.
Is that how he normally talks? Whenever he says his name, he just goes Pedro Pascal.
Oh, dude. That's not breaking too much faith. I work with a guy that's from Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And he's got a fresh accent. And I know it's got nothing to do with what we were just talking about, but it threw me off. But like, he's a Formula One fan as well. And
oh, right, that's a big Formula One thing that happened recently, right?
Not yet. I mean, winter testing, which is weird to call it winter testing when it's in the spring, kind of. But I asked him what his favorite team was, and he listed a few. But when he got down to Ferrari, like, we just say Ferrari, right? But we
just say Ferrari.
You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're not Latino or fucking Italian or whatever, you know, you're just Ferrari.
Oh,
and this dude, he rolled his R's, and I was like, dude, that was. I'm not even into fucking words and shit, but can you say that again? Because that was fresh.
Are you driving the Ferrari?
But anyway,
yeah. Some people.
But yeah, it's winter testing. What the fuck were we talking about?
Well, we're talking about
the Last of Us. Last of Us.
And The Last of Us. Yeah.
I know it's a video game. I know that, you know. I'm surprised Nathan Drake wasn't the fucking voice actor.
The voice actor
for the male character, since he voices everything in every game.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know.
But
the only
go ahead.
Oh God, I'm looking it up because I gotta know famous voice actor, video game voice actor. Yeah, because he does everything. That's true. Let's see. Is it none of these? It's none of these names that are showing up on my list.
Oh.
Like Keith David. No, that's not him.
No.
Oh no, you know what? These are all actors. That's why they're like, who are these actors who are you know? Anyway. But yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I've not played the game, so the interest.
Oh, Nolan North.
That's it. Nathan Drake, I think, is a character.
He plays that character. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's the whole zombie thing is just fucking played out to me.
Well, they're technically not zombies, I guess. They're clickers.
Okay, well, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Infected zombie T virus, like whatever. I'm just, let's move on.
Well, that's, it's a bit, yeah, it's a, it's based off a video game. What do you want?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, okay. How about then, as I continue down the road of pop culture that happened recently, have you seen the latest Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, Quantumania? That's a no.
No. Look, man, I
They
told you,
showed you
Monday
both.
was a hell of a week, okay?
All right. Well, they show you MODOK, and they show you.
I did see that. No, I'm sorry. I did see that. And then seeing MODOK was fucking, that was my favorite part. He's only on the screen for like fucking 10 frames and shit, but.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big deal. MODOK, very big deal.
Kang looking like he did in the video games, in the comic books.
Yeah.
Really cool looking. It was nice. It was similar enough that I knew immediately. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Kang."
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
And
Totally.
I don't read
Like,
that many comic books, but I was familiar enough with the character to be like, "Oh shit, that looks like the comic book."
Yes. Yeah. No, they did a really good job of actually making the guy look like that. Like they translated from paper to screen really really well.
I saw a thing saying today that what's it called? The quantum masterpiece. What's it called? What the movie? The Ant-Man movie? What's it called? Quantumania. Hulkamania. What you gonna do, brother?
Wrong guy.
I know.
Go on.
But the quote was something to the effect of, "This movie's gonna be like in-game in this aspect, and it's gonna be like Civil War in this aspect." And I'm just like, all right, so who's dying?
Oh, there's gonna be. Oh yeah, they're gonna kill off a bunch of characters because they have to do young, sexy new Avengers. And stuff.
This movie's gonna be like the beginning of the Transformers the movie, cartoon movie.
Oh yeah.
Where they just, the
Like
first 10 minutes, they just wax all your favorite Transformers so they can bring in the whole new generation.
Well, hey, look, you gotta bring in RC, and you gotta bring in, I say his name every single week, and I can't remember his name now. Rodimus. You gotta bring on Rodimus.
And Blur. Fucking Blur.
You gotta replace, you gotta get the new kids on the block in there.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy had to come in and do some shit.
All right, let's see some more pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
And I promise you, this will be much more.
Yeah. Hang on. Somebody just followed us.
What?
Yes. Sultry Homie. Thank you for the follow.
Hey, thanks for being sultry, man.
Sultry. It's funny because when you don't hear it, but when it comes in, you hear, "Oh yeah," when somebody follows.
You don't have that audio out? Oh man,
I hear it. You don't hear it. I hear it. The audience hears it.
So sultry. Love it. Well, thank you, sultry, for joining us.
Yes, that's
joining
awesome.
the gang.
That is
The
awesome.
gang's all here.
So your list. Go through your list.
All right. Next thing. Do you remember Night Court?
I am currently rewatching Night Court because I know the new season is coming up soonish, if not this coming weekend.
It is. It's coming out very soon. There's a new Night Court, minus like everyone except for I think John Larroquette.
John
is, like, the
Larroquette.
only one
Yeah.
coming back, and maybe I do see a bailiff here who might be from the original show. I do not remember.
Richard Mole.
No, not, it's a lady. Remember, there's a woman cop there too.
They had several lady bailiffs throughout the show.
Lady Bill. Yeah. So it might be
Um,
her. I don't know, but that's coming back.
I
It
don't know
looks
if
like.
I'm excited for that or not.
Mm,
Um, because that cast was, yes, they had a few people that came and went,
yeah.
but that was a, I don't know, man. That was a special group of people.
Well, what's his face? The main guy, the main judge, who was a comedian, and he was also like a semi, not even a regular. He did cameos on Cheers
Hmm.
as the slippery magician guy.
Harry Anderson.
Yes, Harry Anderson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Harry, in if he, I think that he went by that name too in Cheers. Has some of the best. He kind of has some of the best episodes on Cheers. Like if you ever rewatched Cheers, which holds up surprisingly,
Mm.
even though it's 30 years old. Oh man, if you want to feel old, it's like 26 or 27 years old. It's almost 30 years old. Like it's pretty close. But yeah, it's ridiculous
So
how old it is. But yeah,
not.
it's
I'm trying to cross reference as you're talking the new cast to the old cast, and I'm not seeing
oh yeah,
any crossover names.
John Larroquette should be. Oh, you mean in
Larroquette's the only one.
yeah, okay. So maybe it's just him then, which is so weird. But I mean, you have to have some kind of hook because I think everyone else is dead. I think the rest of the cast is dead.
God, why you
Uh,
gotta be all dark and shit? I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Actually, the first two people of this list are not alive. Richard Mole is
oh
still alive.
yeah,
Selma Diamond, she was the first bailiff. She was old when that show came out, so she was gone. Florence Hollop came next. She was also very old. Marsha Warfield was the lady you were thinking of,
yes, yeah,
and she's not there anymore.
no.
Karen Austin was the first clerk on the show. She's still alive. The second clerk, Charles Robinson, he's not alive anymore. And then after that, it doesn't really
We're old.
matter because they're just
I
supporting.
mean,
But if you go
ever
back,
wanted to know?
if you go back and watch like the first couple episodes of Night Court, Michael J. Fox is like one of the first couple episodes.
No way, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
young Michael J. Like beginning of Family Ties, Michael J. Fox, and
Did he play Marty?
he put no, well he's dressed like Marty, but he tries to play a street kid, like I'm from the streets, and it just doesn't work. But the original show also, I mean, John Aston was on the original show. Mel Torme was on the original show.
Wow, really?
Cameos.
The only one that yeah, the only one I remember having a cameo is, of course, Star Trek's Brent Spiner.
Brent
Who
Spiner was on
played
there a
Billy.
bunch of times. I just watched an episode last night. Wasn't it last night or Sunday? Yakov Smirnoff was on it.
Oh,
That was great.
God.
I'm looking through a list here. Gilbert Godfrey was on there.
Oh well, sure.
So I mean that I just think between the Harry, John Larroquette, and whatever the other prosecutor was, because they went through a few of those as well.
Yeah.
It was like this triangle of humor that would go around. Then you would have the ancillary characters that would fill in funny stuff, or fill in the gaps to hold the episode together. I'm willing to give the new show a shot for sure. I think John Larroquette's funny enough that 20 years, 25 years later, I would hope that some of that humor is still there.
Well, I'm curious if he's gonna still be a sex pest like he was when he was on the show.
That will be
Like original.
interesting to see if Dan Fielding is still the same Dan Fielding.
Exactly. Yeah, because that was.
But see, now it could be fucking hilarious now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, he's old.
So old.
I don't know if he's 90, but he's fucking old. But it could be funny nowadays if he tries to still be, early 90s, 89, 90 Dan Fielding in today's world, and people just like shut him down right away.
Yeah,
that could be funny, but we'll see what happens.
He might be. He might. I think he's a little too old for that type of it wouldn't make sense for his character to be like that, I guess, unless he's like a Hugh, not Hugh Grant. What's his name?
Hugh Grant.
He was the guy who ran Playboy. Hugh Hefner.
Hugh
He was a
Hefner.
Hugh Hefner type. Yeah, maybe. But all right.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. What else is on that list?
Well, lastly, I guess, let's see, because I am actually pulling a lot of this stuff from Nerds That Geek, as this is what they cover. They cover these TV shows and movies, of course. But there's nothing. I mean, I don't know. There's not a movie that's coming out anytime soon that I really want to watch outside of the Ant-Man movie.
Cocaine Bear.
Oh, Cocaine Bear. Yeah, Cocaine Bear. That's true. Oh, and
I don't even know what it's about. I just like the title.
And somehow, and I don't know what your insight is on this, Josh, but somehow Avatar: The Way of Water is almost beating its own record quietly, because no one's talking about that movie, but it's almost hitting $2-point-something billion.
Oh, really?
Like it's beating its own. Yeah. Like it's making so much money.
I mean, you got to think about when the movie first came out. How many people went and saw it over and over and over and over and over again, and cried when they couldn't go see it in 3D anymore?
The first one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
People went and saw it
My point is,
over and over and over again. Now those people have kids.
Yeah, but
now they take their kids to go see it.
How is it making how is it making all this money? You haven't seen it, right?
I've never even seen the first one.
Okay. See, I have seen it once. It's a 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a lot of time out of your day with no real breaks. But yeah, as of here it is. As of January 16th, so yesterday, it's passed $1.9 billion worldwide, which makes 0 sense. Because no one is watching. No one's talking about it. I don't know anyone who's watching that movie yet. It's making all the money. It's taking money. It's literally coming up to you and pulling out your wallet and taking the money out of it.
Well, it will not do that. It will not do that to me.
No, I hope not, at least.
No. Why would I go see a sequel to a movie I've not seen?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people watching it for the first time, because that first movie sucked. It's actually, I rewatched it. It's not that good. It's a pretty movie.
I think that's what people got wrapped up in. Was the 3D, the IMAX 3D, and just the world that it was in. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people really into tree sex, Francis. I don't know.
Maybe. All I know is that it doesn't make sense to me. I thought it was awful. The second one is way better. I really like the story. I like the second movie is actually really good.
Well, I saw he got under some criticism for talking trash or something. Oh.
Did he talk trash?
Not talking trash. Cameron culturally appropriated. Apparently.
Oh.
I don't know which group, but apparently that's what happened.
Oh. A spam chat before.
Yeah.
Spam chat. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Well, goodbye, spam chatter.
Thank you. I'm like, how do I do this and talk at the same time?
I already have it open. I have it open, so I get to do that stuff.
Thank you.
But yeah, Uh, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm not looking forward to like. There's nothing exciting me. Usually, I'm a big movie person. Nothing exciting me for the next year. Nothing is really interesting me
I mean,
outside
because
of
Ant-Man's this year, isn't it?
Ant-Man is this year.
Okay.
God, there's a couple other superhero movies that are coming out this year. I think too. I think The Flash is supposed to come out this year.
I think you're right. I think I saw a list of all the movies that were due to come out, like the big name movies that were due to come out. I can't remember where I saw it, but that's where I
Oh,
saw
every month. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
that's where I saw the name Cocaine Bear, and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I want to go see it.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. All right, there's 10 super for okay. I'm just not paying attention. There's 10 superhero movies coming out this year.
Oh Jesus! All right, what are they?
Ant-Man,
Mm-hmm.
the sequel to Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out in May. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is a sequel to Spider-Man, whatever the Spider-Verse. I don't know.
Enter.
Enter, June. The Flash is coming out June 16th, apparently.
Okay.
A movie called The Marvels. Yes, with Ezra.
Okay.
Miller. Ezra Miller continues to have a job.
Well, he had to do reshoots.
Well, they're keeping. I think they're keeping him.
I think they are too.
Yeah.
They said
let's
go
get
to
rid of the guy that everyone liked.
yeah, let's do that. Let's send this guy to rehab because he's a pretty face guy.
He's not. Anyway.
All
right. The Marvels, which is a Marvel movie coming out in July.
Okay.
Blue Beetle, that's coming out in August.
That's funny. That's funny. I hope DC all the best of luck with that.
Yeah. That's gonna bomb.
Like,
I think nobody knows who Blue Beetle is.
If you know, you know. But even me saying that, and I know who the character is, I don't know what the fuck I actually said by saying that, because I don't know what the fuck the Blue Beetle even did ever.
Blue Beetle is essentially Iron Man.
I've seen him in the animated series a couple times, like the Justice League series a couple times. And I'm like, who the fuck is this?
He's just a guy in a blue robot suit.
Mm.
And he happens to, and he's Hispanic. So he's the Hispanic Iron Man.
Well,
After that is, oh God, the guy, oh my God, who's the actor? He played, oh man. Okay, anyway, Kraven the Hunter is coming out in October.
That could be cool. Yeah. Now, if
Blade, the actor's playing Kraven,
Blade doesn't have a fucking cameo in Kraven, I'm gonna be one mad kid over here.
Well, he's not, because Kraven is Sony, and Blade is Marvel.
That's disappointing.
So you're not gonna see.
That's disappointing.
You know who you can see is Morbius. Morbius will probably show up on Kraven.
Technically that, because that does work. That does work because there was a Spider-Man cartoon where Kraven shows up, and Kraven is hunting Morbius, and Blade shows up and ends up helping.
Oh, okay, all right.
So that's my Blade connection. Plus, Kraven's the hunter. He's gonna hunt. He's definitely gonna hunt vampires. So it would make sense for fucking Blade to be there, or at least Wesley Snipes.
People are a little upset that the actor who's playing Kraven is a guy named Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is the skinniest little dude you've ever seen. So they're upset, and then
hopefully they can get in some HRT and bulk him up.
Hey, The Rock, we need your help. And then finally, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Well, I'm glad you did that one last, because I forgot that Pretty Boy is now Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah. I when you said it, I had thoughts of the 70s cartoon. Aquaman.
Rumor has it this is his last outing as Aquaman, and then they're just going to put him in the role of Lobo. So there you go. From also a DC Comics character, which is stupid because they're the same actor playing.
I mean, sure, but Captain America was once the flaming guy, the Human Torch.
Not at the same time. Not within it's going to be like in a span of a couple years. Like you're going to be like, wait a minute, you're going to have whiplash from just like, did I just see that?
Wow.
So there you go.
I was gonna say, well, probably not, because nobody watches DC superhero movies, so they probably won't see him as Aquaman, and they'll be like, "Fucking Lobo, hell yes." They don't know anything about Lobo, but they'll see him as Lobo and be like, "Yeah, that works."
With the shakeup at DC, that's true. You have a good point, but there you go. Those are the 10 superhero movies that are coming out 2023.
Well, it's a good thing you got that like movie pass thing or whatever, the movie passport thing or whatever it is. So
Yes, that's very true. I do have that movie pass thing to ensure that I get to watch every movie as it comes out.
You know what I like to do, Francis? I like to wait till like there's 2 superhero movies overlapping. Like, movie A it's on its way out, and movie B's coming in, and you go to one of the early showings for movie A, and you just use the bathroom and forget what theater you were just in and go to the other one.
Oh, I mean, it's harder to do nowadays now that they assign seating.
You're not wrong.
Not every
there.
place does,
right?
But I'm pretty sure every theater in my area though is assigned seating.
A lot of them here have gone that way as well. Yeah.
I didn't want to disturb a couple. I watched a movie once where I didn't want to disturb a couple because they stole my seats. I was supposed to sit there, but it was a couple sitting in my seats. I'm like, and I wasn't in a mood to like argue or tell them to get out. So I'm like, well, no one's gonna watch this movie. I'll just sit in the chair over here. And every seat I sat in was taken by somebody else, and I'm like, I guess I'm just leaving then. I guess I'm just not watching this movie because every seat in this theater is taken. But yeah, it's embarrassing to be like, you're in my seat, and I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah, but the guy over there is getting jerked off in my seat right now.
Exactly. Yeah, like, what am I gonna do? It's like I didn't want to sit in a sticky seat. So I decided to
well, you don't want to interrupt. You don't want to sit in You don't want to sit in a seat that's been all warm and sweated by somebody else's arousal.
Exactly. So I was being a bro.
Exactly. Your shirt automatically shrank 4 sizes.
Yes. That's true. Yeah, it did happen. It's like, oh man.
Your shoes automatically turned into like Jordans or something, or whatever the cool shoe is, some Timberlands or something.
I have no idea anymore. It's a good point. I don't know what the shoe is anymore. I don't know what the big cool shoe is to wear.
I don't know either.
Oh, man.
I don't know either. You know what my favorite thing to do is walk by people that love their shoes and purposely step on their shoes. But I say I go, oh shit, sorry man, but I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I just stepped on your shoe.
Oh man. That's cruel. You know what though? You're just giving business to those guys in the mall that are like, "Oh, clean your shoes, man." Oh yeah, we got this thing on clean your shoes. So that's all. I hate those guys. It's like, yeah, I know you can clean my shoes. I don't want my shoes clean. You're fine. Leave me alone.
I haven't been to a mall in so long that I didn't even know that this was a thing.
Oh yeah, wow. Then it's been at least a decade since you've been to a mall, because that's been going on for a decade.
The last time I was in a mall, the thing that was most annoying was the cell phone kiosk guys. That was like, let me put a screen protector on your phone, and then sometimes you actually needed them to put screen protectors because nobody else knew how to put one on properly.
I think that's my favorite thing that has disappeared from malls is the carrier guy going, "Hey man, you need a new phone? Hey man, you need a new line? I got you covered." Like, I don't know. Now they're just in a building, in one of the side places. They don't bother you. They're just
Right.
like, we get business. Don't worry about it. Annoying.
Well, that's why I don't go to malls, because they're annoying.
Don't go to the mall. It's not worth it. I go to the mall because that's where my movie theater is. So
I mean,
I
that's
gotta go
fair.
to the movie theater.
That's fair. There is a mall here that has a theater built into it that you have to go into the mall to access the theater, but you also have to pay to park. So why the fuck would you?
What?
Yeah, this mall I think you can get validated,
Yeah.
but you got to pay to park, or you got to pay to shop at this place, and so there's no point in going to that theater.
No, there's one. Yeah, there is one theater like that, but there's this one fancy theater in LA that I used to like go. Well, I like going to. Well, anyway, I haven't been back since the pandemic. But anyway, you would pay. Yeah, you had to pay to go to this mall, and I'm just like, ugh, I guess. But if you buy a movie, your 3 hours are taken care of. But, it's a very fancy mall.
Yeah,
Very expensive mall.
fucking rich.
Yeah.
Well, and the mall that I was talking about is actually in a pretty wealthy part of town, so it almost makes sense.
Yep. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Well, I'm with you every week, Francis, and every week you are with another friend of ours named Mr. Jeff Burns that puts on a geeky improv, Whose Line Is It Anyway-esque type of show that you get to be on every week. So why don't you tell people about that?
Well, I don't know who the guest is this week, but Super Geeked Up is a geeky improv show where every week we do silly games, ask fun geeky questions, and just get to nerd out for about a couple hours, just to, in the middle of the week, just to kind of get you through the rest of it. Just be like, yeah, here's some nerdy geeky stuff. So supergeekedup.com, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, if you're interested, going into the live chat room where you can actually help control. You actually contribute to how the games are played and answer the fun questions and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great time.
It is a good time. I'm usually there in the chat room for at least a half hour, 45 minutes of it before the bedtime kicks in and, you try to be an adult. But definitely a good time. I like being on the show and totally derailing his show because that's typically what I do. But Francis, where can people find you on the internets outside of Super Geeked Up?
Look, I don't have a new podcast yet, but sinceresarcasm.net is where you can find all the old stuff I used to do. The new podcast is determined by whether or not what happens with this whole thing with Nerds That Geek.
That might be your pop culture outlet that you've been looking for.
That's what I'm saying, exactly. Because it's like, oh man, that changes everything if that becomes the pop culture outlet. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Super Geeked Up, what the hell is it called? SincereSarcasm.net to find everything, Francis. Or look it up, aka The Other Guy. You can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. You can call, voicemail, call into the show, text. You can do all of that. 314-764-7631. It actually spells out POI Pod 1 because Synergy was a thing at one point. You can email us at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. Look up POI Podcast for all other social media outlets. We're here every Tuesday at 7:30-ish Mountain Time. If you ever want to join in, thank you to everybody that's here live, even people that spam chat us. Thank you to everybody that's in the video on the YouTubes, watching in the post. Thank you. We see you. We appreciate you. I don't have an ending. 12 years of fucking podcasting. I think you come up with a goddamn ending, but I have nothing. So that's it. We're out of here. We'll be back next Tuesday. Bye.